No one could blame you for walking away. Too much rejection, no love injection. Life can be easy, it's not always swell. Don't tell me truth hurts, little girl, 'cause it hurts like hell. But down in the underground, you find someone true. Down in the underground, a land serene, a crystal moor. It's only forever, not long at all. Lost and lonely, that's underground. That's the end.
All right, is that your real name?
It is my real name.
Oh my God!
It's weird, I know.
Because I Googled
Yeah.
Walter Sickert.
Right.
Is that how you
That's
say
how you
it?
say it, yeah.
Oh my God! What a legacy.
Well, it's true. I feel like I always have to introduce myself as, hi, I'm Walter Sickert, not the dead painter.
Guess who else he may be?
Well, yeah, so that's what I've heard too.
Jack the Ripper.
That's right, yeah. Yep. Well, there's that. It's funny, because my name, and I get a lot of like, oh, are you related to Walter Sickert? Are you, or like, I get filled in with a lot of information. So I'm aware that Patricia Cornwell wrote a book where she thought that Walter Sickert is
down.
Jack the Ripper.
She's
Yeah.
serious. It's all over.
Right,
That's
yeah.
him.
And I also heard that she destroyed a lot of his paintings to try to figure out...
For the DNA.
Yeah, for the DNA, yeah.
No. What's the Army of Broken Toys?
Well, the Army, so it just kind of started like a... I always described the name as kind of like a magic spell. Because it was me by myself. And I decided that I wanted the end result to be a group of people that, like me, felt out of place. Maybe in the traditional rock and roll bands, or the traditional hip-hop bands, or classical music bands. So I started as myself, and then one at a time we added new musicians. So the first person that we added was Edri, who's my partner in crime.
Okay.
And she played accordion at first, and all different like broken toys. She also plays like an old Strawberry Shortcake 45 and does kind of like turntable stuff on that. And that kind of grew, and we played around a lot. We went on tour, and we opened up for Amanda Palmer, and we kind of, we followed her over to Amsterdam. We played a bunch of shows over there. And then once we ended our little stint with Amanda, we went on our own little tour for about a month and a half.
Was this still like a concept to you? You hadn't really decided if it was a cohesive band thing? Is that what you're saying? That
Yeah,
you threw it together and...
I knew that I wanted to start a band that was outside the cookie cutter kind of band. And I knew that I was going to always be in the band. So I said, well, we'll name it after me first.
All right, well, because I was going to ask if the band's a democracy, but
Right.
how does it run?
Well, we have so now I think we started with one person, then we were two for a long time, and then we jumped up to 8.
So the timeline sounds like you kind of had this idea, and then all of a sudden you're playing with Amanda Palmer. Like,
Yeah, it still kind of did happen like
working?
that.
Yeah, you got really lucky, or you knew the right people, or
No, I think maybe lucky was definitely part of it.
Yeah.
And lucky and not afraid to ask.
Okay.
You know,
Good for
like
you.
that's the best advice I can give anybody.
Okay.
Any artist, any musician is always ask. Don't be afraid, and
Okay.
don't be afraid to approach somebody. It's always
Right.
hard, and I
Yeah.
find, like, for myself even now, and I've been doing it for I don't know how long. I still have that hesitation, like, oh, I don't want to bother this person.
Right.
And I saw Amanda at a party, and I just approached her, and I said, I know you're going to Europe. I was thinking
Need
I might
an
follow you
opener?
and open up for you. How's that sound? And she said, if you get there, you can open up for us.
That's
and I
freaking
said, well, all right,
amazing.
I'll get there.
Well, so when you had this concept of the band, you know, did you want to have a concept band, or did you just want to rock?
I think it's a mix, you know. I think it's a great vehicle to kind of explore things like the Labyrinth, things that like are part of my childhood that mean a lot. And to me, like the show like the Labyrinth, or the movie like the Labyrinth, it spoke to something I was always interested in, which was monsters that could sing. And so, like, for some reason that resonated with me when I was a kid. So I remember like seeing Phantom of the Opera and being like, oh, wait a minute. I feel like I'm out of place. I feel like this strange person living in the basement, but I can also express myself, and I shouldn't be afraid to. And I don't know if that was what you're supposed to get from Phantom of the Opera, but
Yeah.
that's what I got.
How long has Walter Sickert
Good
been
evening.
around the Boston scene?
This is our 8th year. This is
Oh
our
my
8th year
God.
as a band. I think it's been 7 years with all the members.
So you are connected with Burlesque. Is every show a combo of you and Burlesque?
In a way, you know, that's really this is kind of our art family.
Yeah.
With Cambridge and Boston and Somerville and Dorchester.
Is this the only place you play?
No, we play all over the place.
Okay.
I think this is the second time we played here in
Okay.
the last couple of months. We played here a bunch,
Yeah.
you know, but recently we played a couple of months ago here. No, we play all over the place. We go on tour once a year.
So is this a hobby or a calling? That's not my most important
Oh
question.
yeah, no, it's definitely a calling.
And what would the pinnacle of success for this band be?
I think if we could share our madness even bigger, even like we're I don't know if I would call us an international band. You know, I consider like, you know, Bowie is an
Right.
was an international
Right.
band,
Right.
was an international musician. But we have fans that are all over the world, you know? So for me, a beautiful dream that might be impossible is to somehow connect all those people and perform for everybody.
Like a live, a Walter Sickert Woodstock.
Yeah, kind of like that, you know? I mean, and for me, like the pinnacle of success would be taking our show on the road to everybody who wants to see us.
Right.
And, you know, that might mean joining up with a big band and just being the opener and being able to bring our craziness all over the place.
So you just want to tour.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. You know,
you
I
love
love writing music, and I love touring, and I love doing performances that are outside the box of a normal rock show.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Right.
really important to me because you get enough of just straightforward kind of playing and
Yeah.
people looking at their shoes or you know
Right.
that kind of thing. And like for me, I've always, if I'm going out, I want to see a show. I want to have
You
an
believe
experience.
in the art of the show.
Definitely.
Which I do too. I totally understand. Would the baby go out on tour with you?
She will. Yes, she will. She has been to every single show that we've played since she was born, which was
Okay.
quite a bit because she was born 2 days before we started our musical, Shock-Headed Peter. And so we had 2 days off. She was born in that window. She came home from the hospital a couple days after that. And then 2 days later, she was at every single performance of Shock-Headed Peter. So it's like 30 shows.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's got it in her blood.
And she loves music, so she has no choice either. So because we rehearse in the house every single Monday too. So
Who does the artwork?
I do.
Okay, it's really good.
Oh, thank you
I
very
love
much.
it. Well, because also Walter Sickert was an artist.
An artist,
Are
yeah.
you German by chance?
A little German, half German. Yeah, half German, Portuguese.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's spooky. You don't look as creepy as him. Okay, most important question.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I'm ready for it.
Bowie.
Yes. Oh boy, you're gonna make me cry.
I know, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
How have you guys been handling it?
Well, for me, I mean, it's been hard and bizarre because Bowie's music has always been a part of my life from when I was 7 to now. You know what I mean? And he's always been. And I can't think of any other artist that I've felt that way, that I've not only looked forward to his music being released and his next album, but it's his music unlike a lot of artists, has ingrained itself into like everybody's life. You know what I mean?
I think that's what his death proved.
And I feel like we all have him kind of woven into our DNA.
And we didn't know.
Well, somebody like him, I mean, I think it's because of his music. I think it echoes
grace, class,
everything
in the face of
and he's such
humor.
A permanent art installation that you expect him to be around forever in a different way, and you can always call back to him. And I mean, that's the gift he left. You know, there's so much music that we can enjoy and go back to, but it's been really, really hard month. And I mean, this show has been a dream of mine to put on for a year now, you know, and since I was about 7, you know, because I fell in love with the Labyrinth. And before that, I had listened to, my parents would play me Bowie all the time, so he was definitely on my playlist as a kiddo.
Your parents were cool then, obviously.
Oh yeah, they love music. They love music. Yeah.
And what would your first Bowie album? Do you remember what it was?
Oh my God.
Like that you.
I remember. We watched Ziggy Stardust, and I can't remember. I was trying to the movie, and I was trying to remember if they were showing it on like PBS or something, because I don't think my dad.
PBS.
No, I don't remember. Like it had to be on television.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, I remember.
Well, maybe cable.
It might have been, but we were too poor for cable. It was on TV. It was on TV,
no,
and I had no idea. And I remember my dad was like, "Oh, you should watch this," and I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" And then my mind was blown. Like it just opened up. And it was beautiful
sensual,
and bizarre.
Sexy, beautiful, humorous.
And creature. What I always loved about him, he never appeared human to me.
Right.
So I think there's so many levels to him too. I mean, it's like for a lot of us, he's been an artistic guiding star for, you know, not only the standard and the quality, but the importance of expressing yourself artistically through your whole life. And that's a big shadow to fill, and nobody does that except for Bowie. And when we lose him, and we kind of feel like, or I at least feel like, you know, that part of my DNA has been stripped out, you know, and knowing that there's not going to be another change for him, another persona, it was really heavy, really sad. And this month is, you know, it's been like this show has been planned for a while, and then it went on sale, I think, like 3 weeks before. And then he passed away. I'm like, I can't believe this. Yeah, well, so I wrote a piece that is Black Star in the beginning, and then goes to Motorhead's Ace of Spades, because we lost Lemmy a couple months ago, and then back into Black Star. Yeah. And for me, that Black Star single came out before he died, you know, and I loved it. The second I got my ears on it, I was listening to it every day on my walks on the beach, and like the song really spoke to me, and it got me excited because I forgot for a little bit that like every time Bowie would put something out, he'd go out of his way to make it different and strange, and then I'm like, oh, everything spoke to me about it. We have a record coming out in fall called Come Black Magic, so even like there was this word in it, and I'm like, wait a minute, why? And when I got my ears on, I'm like, oh, this is perfect, this is beautiful. And I kept telling my friends how much I liked it, but it made me sad because I felt like when I listened to it, I could hear a farewell in it, and I didn't know why.
You're not the only one.
Exactly.
I've heard people say that for sure.
I didn't know why, and I just felt like it was, but it was just beautiful. And then of course he passed away, and that all made sense. And that's when I was hit with another thing, which was, not only was he an amazing artist through his whole life, he had the presence of mind to know that he was going to die, and he knew that he was going to go out on his own artistic terms and put a bookend to his career. Like, who can say they did that? Nobody, you know? Like, that's the artist. The problem with being an artist is you're worried about not being able to finish your work. And this guy did it. He didn't only finish it, he put such a beautiful period at the end of his sentence of life.
singing.